Time for the ETF report. Our guest says exchange-traded funds that offer a play on defense, interactive gaming, and uranium are gaining attention. We are joined by Todd Rosenbluth, head of research at VettaFi. Great to see you. Of course, you're owned by the TMX Group. And just remind us what VettaFi does. We know that you compile indexes, very useful for ETF companies. Broadly, how do you make money at VettaFi?
You're right. So VettaFi is part of the TMX Group, and we offer indices to give investors across the world the opportunity to invest in a number of different strategies: equity, fixed income, thematic products. We also have education capabilities, so we are covering the broader ETF marketplace globally to focus on what trends are in and out of favor and how advisors and investors can get exposure to those trends using ETFs.
And I think you're not recommending these ETFs that we're going to talk about, but you say they illustrate themes in the market and offer investors ways to play industries with one-stop shopping. Can we start off with Rex Drones ETF, DRNZ on the NASDAQ? What's this one all about?
Sure. So the Drones ETF, or DRNZ, offers exposure to defense investing, which has become very popular for folks given the geopolitical environment. But drones are used for not just defense areas, but drones are being used in a number of different commercial areas as well. And so this Rex Drones ETF came out late last year. It's already gathered assets. We think that defense as a thematic trend is in favor based on quality and momentum characteristics. VettaFi has a thematic rotation index that we have, and defense is one of those areas that has stood out in recent months.
Right. Latest assets I have here, 51 million, but it's early days yet. And that's interesting because drones, of course, you could buy a whole bunch of different companies, but hard to know which one to grab.
Right. So you get the benefits of diversification. That's one of the things we like about thematic ETFs. It's easy, or it's easier to identify a theme that you think has legs over the next 2 to 3 years. But finding an individual company can be a challenge. So a diversified ETF like DRNZ or drones offers you exposure to that theme without having to pick an individual winner or two and then often be wrong.
I see the biggest holding there lately, Ondas Networks, a player in autonomous drones and wireless. Your next ETF that you has caught your eye, Amplify Video Game Leaders, GAMR.
That's right. So people tend to think of technology stocks as the way to get exposure to thematic strategies. And we've got artificial intelligence being one of those themes people think about. This ETF from Amplify, Gamer, or GAMR, gives an investment case to the esports and online gaming world that has been continuing to grow. We think, again, this is a diversified product to give you exposure. It has some exposure to technology companies, but not all. It's global in nature. That caught our eye. And this, again, is one of those themes that stood out from a quality and momentum characteristic. So Amplify has a strong suite of thematic ETFs. GAMR is one of those products that caught our eye within their broader lineup.
I do see, though, that as of February 19th, NVIDIA is the biggest holding at 12%, and Meta is number 2 at 11%, and then Advanced Micro. So I guess you could criticize them and say, well, that's a lot of very mainstream tech holdings in there.
Right. So these are companies that are going to be exposed to not just video gaming, but when we at an Amplify and their index partner that VettaFi happens to be, when we are building an index, companies make it in for having exposure to those trends. But of course, NVIDIA is tied to other themes as well. So you want to make sure that you know what's inside the portfolio. And as we look through the broader holdings, you'll see some stocks that you probably don't own within a more well-diversified ETF.
And then finally, Sprott is well known for its actual ETFs that track uranium. Well, they actually hold I'm not sure if they're technically ETFs. They actually hold a bunch of physical uranium. But this is a slightly different thing. URNM, Sprott Uranium Miners ETF.
Right. So what we've seen is stocks that are tied to a commodity like uranium, or in fact, in this case, uranium miners, is a great way of getting exposure to that theme and that trend, but through equities. And so we've seen it is actually more popular in the U.S. towards gold and gold mining, but uranium and uranium mining. And Sprott is a leader in offering exposure to commodity-like equity strategies. And so uranium mining has done very well. There's a lot of use cases for it. It is tied. It is a tangential tie to some other broader themes like artificial intelligence, but it's an exciting time to be investing in uranium and uranium mining, and Sprott is a name many people in Canada as well as in the United States are familiar with.
Yeah, they built quite a franchise. I see Cameco, as you might expect, is a big holding here, 20%. Then Uranium Energy, US player, 12%. And then there's 11% in the Physical Uranium Trust. And then Paladin Energy and Deep Yellow. And it looks like this thing is pretty popular. Assets of more than $5 billion.
Right. So of the three ETFs that we are talking about so far today, this is the most popular product, the most established of those products. We've seen great adoption in the United States for uranium mining related ETFs, and the Sprott product is top notch.
I'm sorry, I overstated the assets there. They're north of 2.3 billion US,
well,
but
that's
still pretty big.
That's still strong.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to correct you in terms of the numbers that I'm not looking at right now, but yeah, it's a success story for Sprott. We're really excited to see this fund continue to grow assets.
Yeah, they've got quite the franchise out there. They got a copper one, copper miners, junior copper, lithium, nickel, you name it. Thanks very much, Todd. I really appreciate it.
It's a pleasure talking with you. Thanks a lot.
Todd Rosenbluth, head of research at VettaFi.